Jim, after a disappointing first defeat of the season last weekend, we've had 2 games now, 2 tough sides in Spennymoor and Gateshead, 2-0 wins. You must be absolutely delighted with the response that we've had.
Absolutely. I think it's a sign of a good side when you can bounce back from a little bump in the road which we had this time last week at Farsley, playing against 2 very good sides at the level in Spennymoor and Gateshead, 2 teams that when we've looked over them and the results that they've had, we think they'll be there or thereabouts this season. So to win 2-0 on Tuesday limits a very good side in Spennymoor to 1 shot on target, and having numerous opportunities ourselves. Could have been more than the 2 that we got, but it's 3 points, another clean sheet, and then you want to back that up today. It was a difficult game for us. Gateshead are a very good side. You've got to take everything into consideration. That they haven't played for 12 days, so that they're going to be fresh. It's our 3rd game in a week, and you can see evidence of that in the second half. Obviously, when they're chasing that, to try and get themselves back into the game. When our players, we've lost 2 to injury, and we've got players there who run on empty, but the big thing for me, obviously, apart from the 3 points, is and obviously a clean sheet again, but it's the desire and the determination, the attitude, and the way they've gone about their business today, the players, because they've all put a shift in from every one of them. The subs who come off the bench, Jordan Hume up front hasn't played much for us this season, but absolutely ran his socks off alongside Joe Pig, and it set the tone right throughout the side. And we're not always going to have the ball. I do hear some negative comments when we might play backwards just to keep the possession, because you've got to find different ways of beating teams, and if you do play a backwards pass, it's for a reason, to try and keep the ball, to try and pull the opposition out so we can find it easy to go through them. There's a couple of mistakes there, and I hear a couple of negative comments, and we're winning 2-0 at home. We're top of the table. We've been doing really well. We've got an honest bunch of players who all want to do well and be successful, and they're giving their absolute all for the shirt. And I just think sometimes it certainly frustrates me, and I can't make it. I just don't understand. If it was my team, Everton, they were top of the league and haven't been beaten in 19 months or something at home, I'd be doing cartwheels, and I'd be getting right behind the players that are representing my football club, and that's what they're doing. They've been brilliant, the players, great attitude. Real good team spirit. And as I say, there will be times when teams are going to come in, good players like they've got today and like they had on Tuesday, they're going to ask questions of us. We're not going to have 100% possession of the ball. They probably have more possession than us today, but we've got the 2 important goals, and we looked a threat more so first half. But we got a little bit of a bashing down with Jack Sampson going off injured, and then obviously Alex Whitmore, our captain, going off injured. We've had to reshuffle a little bit, but I'm proud of them. I've just told them in there. For me, that is a performance against one of the top sides in the division. And Gateshead, I'm telling you now, will be there or thereabouts. They're a very good outfit. They've got goals in the team up top. Where Langstaff and Scott, Adam Campbell, player I know well. They're a good, hard-working outfit that'll cause teams problems this season. And we've gone toe-to-toe there. And as I say, 3rd game in a week, giving their absolute all, running on empty. Perks might not have gone out second half, could have been a bit of a hip problem from the first half, and we've got a couple of others who are carrying bumps and bruises from the week. And say, if I was a fan tonight, I'd be very, very proud of my team, because not only have they won, they've represented the club and the shirt in the right manner, and that the least we expect, the non-negotiable, is you go and work hard and you be competitive, and you go and stand up and you be counted and you be men, and that's what we've done. And obviously we've got a bit of quality as well, so that's helped, because we've scored 2 decent goals, so we're pleased about that. Pleased with another win, and long may it continue.
As you mentioned, the 2 goals there, a bit of a collector's item, a goal for Perks, a really good volley from the edge of the box, and then followed up by Joe Pig on the turn. How important was it when you got the first goal then to go and get that second quickly and put a bit of breathing space between the 2 sides?
I thought you were going to say followed up by an unbelievable celebration there by Perks, because he's not used to scoring. I actually played in the first goal he ever scored, the game when he scored his first ever goal, and he's never really scored many, been known to. I think he scored 3 in one game once, if you do your research, which is a bit of a mad one, but he's not known for the goal scoring, but it was a sweet strike for him and for us, because it got us going, it gave us that little bit of a lift, and then from then we played some good stuff, we had opportunities, and then obviously we scored another good goal. Joe Piggott's, he's proven already since he's been at the club, he likes that movement, he likes getting into feet in the box and rolling his man and putting it in, and he's very good at that. His 4 goals so far have all been carbon copies really, but I think it was important we scored, you know, at the time we did, because again, third game of the week, you know, Gateshead rested up for 10, 12 days, whatever it is. They're coming here fresher than us. They've had an opportunity to come and watch us in the week. And it's always hard, you know, you think, do you go with the same team? Do you make changes to freshen things up? But I think that was, again, highlighted in the start. You know, we were bang at it in the warm-up on Tuesday, and that filtered through into the game. Today we were a little bit lacklustre, we couldn't get them fired up for whatever reason. Again, same for whatever reason, it's probably because of the, you know, the long week we've had. It's been our first midweek game, apart from the FA Cup obviously in the league. And we seen that in the first 10 minutes. I thought, you know, they were well on top. They asked loads of questions of us. We had to defend loads of set plays, which again, we've been outstanding defensively on the set plays. You know, his body's flying in everywhere, shots getting blocked, and we never really got a grip of the game. And then finally 10 minutes in, we got it, and we started building some nice moves. We got a couple of opportunities, but we've scored a fantastic goal through Perk, so that was pleasing, because it just seemed to settle everyone down, get everyone, you know, at it. And then from then on in, I thought our pressing was really good. So, you know, first half we got after them. They're a good expansive side, Gateshead, and we got over them, and we were winning the ball high up the pitch, which created more opportunities for us. So that was pleasing. You know, without the ball, stuff that we'd worked on and spoke about, and with the ball, I thought we looked, you know, quite good. Not as good as Tuesday night, but certainly in spells. First half we were excellent, and we got the 2 goals. But as I say, after that, a little bit of adversity with the injuries, taking into consideration the opposition, you know, the third game of the week. But we showed the other side today. You know, I've seen football in the past when a team's been 2-0 up and then they could crumble a little bit, they run out of gas and potentially go and, you know, draw or even lose the game. But we showed a sturdiness to us today that, you know, we're not a pushover as well. We're a good football side, we'll create loads of chances, we'll score goals. But just as pleasing for me is how robust we are as well, how hard working we are, how together we are. And, you know, to grind out another clean sheet back to back is fantastic for us. So long may continue putting it in at one end of the net and keeping it out at the other end of the net. If we do that, obviously we'll be successful, and that's what we all want to be.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of the knocks that we got in the first, obviously Whitmore and Jack Sampson coming off. They allowed a couple of the fringe players to come on, Amika Obi and Jordan Hume. Can you tell us about the situation with Samo and Wits, and how pleased we are with the contributions that Meeks and Jordan put in? Yeah,
you're right. You know, it's we say it every week. There's starters in a football team, but there's also finishers as well, and it's just important that the players who are on the bench, you know, get wide into our analysis and make sure they take on board the information, you know, about how we want to play, because ultimately that can happen in football. You know, I was doing set plays yesterday and we spoke about it only needs one person to be sick, like the referee today. One person goes down sick overnight and suddenly that door shuts and opens for someone else, and they've got to make sure that they go in and they don't, you know, neglect their roles and responsibilities within the team with and without the ball, because ultimately they'll let themselves down, they'll let teammates down, they'll let the football club down. But with those 2 players in question there today, you know, and including Nathan Shaw, who come on for the last, you know, 12, 15 minutes or something, you know, all put a shift in, all stood up and be counted, you know, and really pleased for them, because that's football. You're going to get injuries. They've had 2 injuries today as well, you know, so unfortunately for us, we'll have to assess them. Samuel's got a bit of a knee injury, so we'll have to have a look at that. He just, you know, jarred himself awkwardly, which looks similar to their lad coming off. And the big one for me is, well, not saying it's the big one, but he's our captain, is Alex Whitmore, because, you know, he's played every minute of every game. He's a big player for us. And I think the illness to the referee, you know, we made the decision to stay out on the pitch and keep moving. We had a little chat with them and keep moving them. You know, Gateshead decided to go back into the change rooms, which can be quite warm, so you're going from one extreme to the other and then coming back out. So we made that decision, but unfortunately for us, within 10 seconds the ball was stuck right behind Alex Whitmore and he had to sprint. So he's got a bit of a hamstring, so we'll have to assess that, see how he is. You know, I've not known Wits to be injured, well, for some time, you know, since I'm working with Morgan. And since I've been here, he's been ever present. He's been rock solid in training, rock solid in the games. But we'll assess them, see how they are. But like I always say, if it shuts, the door shuts for someone, it opens for someone else. And that's what happened today with the 2 players that you mentioned. They come on and put a shift in for the team and contributed to a very good performance and a good win.
And obviously, finally, the game next week against Curzon Ashton, they've always given us tough games in the past. They've not played today. They've brought a new manager in this week. How do you sort of approach that game after these 2 wins?
Well, the first thing we've got to do is recover right and make sure that we're all, the players are right and ready. We need a good week. I think they're playing Tuesday themselves. Whether the COVID's gone or not, I don't know, but it'll give us an opportunity to go and see them. Obviously, they've got a new manager, so they're going to have that little bounce and that spring in the step. And the manager knows as well because he was the Farsley manager last week. So, big game for us again. Kersden have done really well this season. They've got good players. I've watched them really on the season at Chester when he won 3-0, and I thought they were excellent. The front four in particular were really good. Thomas and Mackay, and they're a good outfit. So, like anyone, we'll pay them respect that that anyone deserves. But we're in a good position. We're winning games of football. We want to continue get back on a winning or an unbeaten run. And next up, Kersden. So we need a big week. Hopefully we'll get 1 or 2 of those players that we mentioned back, from injury, and we can go there in time and win that game as well.